This week's talking about Orks. We're going over the Burna Bomber. And the Burna Bomber is one of those things that's a little bit of a letdown. So, unlike the other flyers, it does have slightly different stats because its maximum move is only 50, not 60, for some reason. And then it drops down to 30 and 25. That's kind of different. But it has weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5 to 6, strength 6, toughness 6, 12 wounds. Attacks who cares, leadership 6, 4+ save. A Burna Bomber is a single model equipped with a twin big shooter and 2 super shooters. So with those two options, it clocks in at 132 points. Seems a little spindy for me for the number of shots to get at. So, but it's a bomber, so where are the bombs? Well, the bombs are a special rule, not a war gear item. Interesting. Burna bombs. Up to twice per battle, this model can drop a Burna bomb as it flies over enemy units in its movement phase. After this model has moved, select an enemy unit that has moved over, and roll a d6 for each model in that unit, up to a maximum of 10 dice. Add 1 to the roll for the models in infantry for each roll of 5+ or 4+ for infantry. The unit suffers 1 mortal wound. So against infantry, you get on average 5 mortal wounds. That's not horrible. Definitely. So this one option is model may take Scorching Missiles. Scorching Missiles are 20 points. Scorching models are Assault D6, Strength 5, AP -1, 1 damage, and ignores cover. Scorching Missiles would be great if there was multiple shots of them, or set number of shots like Assault 4. Assault D6, nah, I don't think it's worth 20 points for Assault D6. And of course, it has super shooters and a twin big shooter. See some of its rules. It's airborne, hard to hit, supersonic. Grot Gunner, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with this model's twin big shooter. And Crash and Burn. This is where the Burna Bomber gets interesting. If this model is reduced to 0 wounds, roll a d6 before removing it from the battlefield. On a 4+, it crashes in a fiery explosion, and each unit within 6 inches suffers 3 mortal wounds. So obviously, you want to suicide this thing in your opponent's line. You want to keep it away from your models. It's not a d6 inches, it is 6 inches with 3 mortal wounds. So the idea is you fly it into your opponent's face, drop its bomb on something, doing a handful of mortal wounds to a unit, and then wait for him to blow it up. And then do a bunch of mortal wounds around. Hopefully they won't be able to move far enough away to avoid the explosion. But to be honest, when the model's best rule is when it dies, it's probably not worth playing, especially for 152 points. 132 points. The Burna Bomber needs to be like 30 points less. If it was like 100 points, it might be a useful flyer. Because once those bombs, if it does survive and they don't shoot at it because they don't want to take the mortal wounds or whatever, it doesn't have a whole lot of shots. It's got 12 shots once the bombs are expended. And I don't think it's really worth the points it is. That's what it comes down to. It's not worth the points. 100 points, maybe 90 to 100, I think would probably be better for the Burna Bomber where it needs to be. But because it just doesn't do anything. I mean, say it does its 10 mortal wounds, and it is able to drop both bombs. It does its 10 mortal wounds to a couple infantry units. I mean, that's only 2.5 dead Primaris Marines. So, I don't know how good that really is. I mean, it's not very good. So you kill at most a unit of 5 Primaris Marines over 2 turns with its 2 bombs. Maybe plink out a couple wounds here and there with its meager 12 shots. It's just not very exciting, and it's not very good. I don't know how. And to be honest, this is one unit I don't know how to fix. It just needs to be stupid cheap. 90 points, I think, for this thing fully loaded with the Scorching Missiles at Assault 4. Now it might be able to actually do something, because that would give it 16 shots. And that might actually be somewhat good for like 90 to 100 points. But 132, 152 with the Scorching Missiles at D6, no. It's just bad. I mean, it's fun. Don't mistake that. It is fun to fly it into your opponent's face and see how many mortal wounds it can do when it dies. But as I said, if a model is going to do way more damage when it explodes than it's ever going to do in a game otherwise, your opponent's probably not even going to shoot at it. It's like, oh, that does absolutely nothing, and if I kill it, I'm going to suffer some horrible damage. So, and again, being a flyer, I can't necessarily take objectives depending on the kind of game you're playing. So, I think if you're playing against a Burna Bomber, you can pretty much safely ignore it. And same with and a model that can be ignored like this for 152 points isn't worth playing. It's just not worth playing. It needs to be way cheaper to be playable in this condition. So, have you had Burna Bombers explode in your opponent's line before? I mean, a lot of people I know play it that way. I've played it that way to a lot of fun effects, but nothing too serious competitive-wise. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching this episode of Talking About Orks. Please subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications for new Talking About Orks videos every Wednesday, new battle reports every Friday, and hobby videos whenever I can. Thanks for watching.